Today we have an FNX 45 tactical model from FNH USA. This gun has the ability to mount a red dot on top of the slide. It comes with the mounting plates and the screws that you would need to mount a Trijicon RMR or a Burris Fastfire or the Vortex Venom like I have mounted here. This gun has a match grade threaded barrel, a stainless slide which is coated flat dark earth, the flat dark earth frame. You have Ambidextrous safety and decocker, and the Ambidextrous magazine release. These magazines are 15 round capacity. So this gun will actually take 15 plus 1 rounds of 45 ACP. This thing is a beast.
And everything on it is actually fully ambidextrous, including you having a slide stop on this side also. The only thing, just like all of these handguns, it's not ambidextrous is the fact that it's always going to eject out of the right-hand side. You can't switch it from right to left. So all of these guns still eject out of the right-hand side. And you also have the suppressor sights on this that allow you to somewhat co-witness through that vortex.
These are actually suppressor night sights.
Yes.
And the takedown levers on the left-hand side as well.
Yeah, of course. So, these things come with a full, nice little kit with them. With a zip-up nylon denier, kind of a bag, but has a place for extra magazines, the gun itself to where it can stay put, a suppressor if you have one. Of course, this is something with a threaded barrel, you could suppress it. And also a pouch here for the accessories that come with it, which were the different base plates for your optic, or if you had you want to carry those with you everywhere, you could put a weapons light or maybe a cleaning kit or something in there. It's kind of neat that when you get a gun that does cost as much as these do, that you can still customize this and take the case that you bought it in wherever you go with it. That's a nice touch.
And I like the fact that it came with 3 magazines that match the gun. They have the flat dark earth base plates that match your frame, and I believe those were stainless.
Yeah, they're like I believe like a black chrome coating or some kind of anodization or whatever. But I mean they're pretty slick. One thing about the FNX or the FNP line with FN, they, as far as I know, were the first commercially available handgun with an optic setup. Now Glock, Springfield, Smith & Wesson, SIG, all of these companies are now coming out, even Keltec with the PMR30, are coming out with handguns that are made to mount an optic. And whether it be the Vortex Venom like that's on here, or a Trijicon RMR, or a Burris Fastfire 3, the Leupold Delta Point. I mean, there's quite a few out there, but I'd say there's a handful that are really what I would call handgun capable, because I mean that slide's going back and forth. This being a 45, you're going to have a whole lot of force going back and forth. And even Glock with the 40, the Model 40 that is, in 10mm, that gun's going to take a pretty good beating. But just the simple fact that these manufacturers are kind of heeding the call that people want this stuff, I think that's pretty neat. Before, you had to send your slide off to somebody and have it cut for an optic and so on, and maybe some people would think that was compromising the integrity of the firearm, or the slide at least. But when you've got manufacturers that are bringing it out with it on there, I wouldn't worry one bit about mounting anything on there, except maybe High Point. I don't think High Point optic ready.
I would mount a red dot to a High Point. I've seen it done. I mean, people do it. So one thing that I'd like to say is that one thing that some of you all will like is the fact that these sights, these are metal. These aren't plastic.
Yeah, from the factory. You know, unlike some manufacturers where when you first get their gun, they have plastic sights on them. That the first thing I do on those, the very first thing I do is change to a metallic sight of some sort.
I don't mind the plastic sights.
Yeah, they come off. First thing, God. But
and it's got a nice knurled thread protector on the barrel.
Yeah. And you know, my experience with these firearms goes back to my own personal FNP9, which, you know, when you look at the size comparison wise and so on and controls, you know, this was the first generation of this pistol that, you know, there's a heck of a size difference between those two, you know, 9 to 45. You know, still have got equipment rails, things like that, and still a really, really fine pistol. I hope this is a compliment to FN, but to me, this is the polymer frame SIG 226. You know, that's the way I kind of see it, the way it feels and so on, and I've got quite a few SIG 226s, and I hope that's a compliment, since it has gone through quite a bit more than what this gun, you know, has endured so far.
And those guns really gained popularity whenever they moved them to FN, so this is like the improved version of the Browning Pro 9.
Yeah, which was actually, you know, FN made those guns anyway for Browning. They just had the Browning name on them, and they were known for not having the best trigger pulls and so on, but this was just greatly improved. The double action, single action on this particular firearm is just wow.
Yeah, I think when they moved to FNs when they really gained their popularity.
Of course, yeah, you know, and well, a lot of people in this country, if you didn't own a Browning shotgun or something like that, had no idea what FN was. Anybody been in the military, been in armor, of course, did. And now with FN making, you know, upwards of 70% of our military small arms, you know, they're not a Johnny-come-lately. The quality is here in this firearm, and I guess, Terry, since this has been mounted up, we need to go shoot it, don't we?
We need to go sight it in.
Oh, gosh.
We'll talk for a second about the Venom, the Vortex Venom. This comes with a rail mount plate that you can use with it, so that you can just mount it on a 1913 rail. It also comes with a rubberized cover, and on this particular handgun, that cover will not fit because it doesn't go down between the rear sight and the red dot. It's the only thing about it that I don't like, but I'm not really going to use that anyway, so it's just kind of a useless little accessory for me now. But the Venom comes with, you know, a nice little cleaning cloth, your instruction booklet, an Allen wrench, or no, that's a...
It's Torx, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Torx. And mounting screws.
That one's a 3-minute angle dot, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it is.
Okay. You know, with a handgun,
you
can get away with a little larger dot with a handgun versus, say, a rifle that you're going to be shooting at 100 yards. You know, you're talking about, you know, 3 inches at 100 yards or so. There we go, around that. With a handgun, that's going to get you where you need to be.
I think we're going to probably sight this one in at, what, 25?
I'd say, well, I mean, we'll probably start out a little closer to get rid of all of our bearings, and then, you know, do a final sight in around 25 yards, and then go back forward again and see what the deviation is from that 25-yard sight in when you're closer to a target. I'm kind of at odds whether a 25-yard sight in is really where you need to be with a handgun, because, I mean, heck, on my red dots, on my ARs, I'll sight those in directly at 50 yards or 50 meters, where I do a battle sight, you know, setting at 25 meters or so with the open sights. With a handgun, you know, if most engagements, if you're to use this for self-defense, are going to happen within 21 yards, well, or 21 feet, I'm sorry, 7 yards, you know, maybe somewhere between there might be a good compromise, but being a 45, we can see where it shoots, and then, you know, go from there.
When the zombies come, you may actually need that extra distance. So,
well, yeah, you don't want them that close, but then again, your probability for misses, you know. But damn it, you know, Terry, You keep on doing this too. He has an AR that matches my shirt. Now I've got a little handgun that matches too. So
Maybe I just need to start wearing brown shirts.
it's a theme now. So yeah, you always wear black. Why in the hell you buy flat dark earth stuff?
Change away from them, I like it.
But I think that if that gun right there shoots as good as my little FNP9, that we're going to be having a lot of fun with it, and going to be hopefully impressed. I would say I will be. I've never been unimpressed with an FN product. So I think we're going to pack this up, take it to the range, and I guess we'll put it through its paces.
See you guys on the range.
Okay, you were high at the top of that.
It was high?
It is right center at the top. Same place. Was that aligned with the sights? 'Cause I think that's what we did to begin with, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's right there with the sights.
Yeah. Didn't see. Low left.
I think that was me.
Okay. Center slightly right. That could have been a pull. Don't know. Center to the right, just a hair. Try one of the bowling pins before you do that. Go the furthest one over or something. Well, is that uncomfortable? Hit.
That was me.
Okay. Right. Let's say you're pulling. Shoot the one that you shot. The first one, because it's laying down. A little bigger target. Okay, you shot high.
A little bit high.
Yeah, I'd say you're a little high. Where's your screwdriver? Yeah. Hit. Don't know. Looked high.
Yeah, one went high right. I think I pulled that one.
Hit. Solid hit. Hit. I think it's to the right. Hit. Yep. Try the center of the steel target. That way we'll get a quieter center. Sure, that's right. Right again. That's, oh, ringer. Little low. What are you going for now?
Dummy, right center of chest.
Okay.
That was me.
Left shoulder is tore the heck up. There you go. There you go.
I think it's pretty well on. Anything that's off is me, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it's just after that much trigger time, 3 mags full, you're going to pull a little bit, but nah, you decorated his chest pretty hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
So between knocking down all the bowling pins, shooting the paper off the steel target, and hitting the dummy in the chest, I'd say you're pretty daggone close, if not right on. So
yeah,
I think it's okay.
I'm not the greatest shot ever with a pistol, but with the red dot, I mean, I'm, making decently sized groups at 25 yards. I'm hitting what I'm aiming at. Yeah, tore Mr. Dummy's chest and face up. This one was actually dead on where I was aiming, right in the navel. And I got the bowling pins down. That gun shoots very well. The recoil impulse really doesn't feel bad at all for 45. The trigger pull and reset are both pretty crisp. They feel nice. Jeff, you want to shoot it?
Oh yeah, I'll take a few rounds with it myself. I'm gonna try to put a few rounds down range and see how well this red dot's on. Yep, that's me. One down. Two down. Three down. Four down. Uh-oh. There we go. 5. 6. 7 bowling pins. Shoots pretty good, as long as I don't flinch. Let's try. It shoots on. What do you think, Terry? Think it shot on pretty good?
Oh yeah, I love it. I'm glad I got it.
Yeah.
That's been a gun that I've wanted for a long time, pretty much since it first came out.
I don't think he's going to get it back. He might look big. I'll kick his butt.
I think it fits my hand a little better.
Yeah. I like that. It does remind me quite a bit of, you know, of the feel and so on of the FNP 9 that I was telling you about earlier. So, if you ever want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I don't think I will. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and run this last mag through it. I really do love this gun. I happened upon it by chance at a local shop and got a pretty decent deal on it, and no regrets whatsoever. Yeah, I love it. It's definitely different, at least for me in shooting 45. This gun handles the recoil really well. The shots that I missed were completely my fault because I was a little bit shaky. It's a little bit cool out here this morning, and like I said, I'm not necessarily the best shot ever, but you know, at 25 yards I'm in an area like this, so I consider that to be pretty accurate. I hope you guys enjoyed watching us talk about and shoot the FNX 45 Tactical. Maybe one day here in the near future we can get into some videos with suppressors and get this thing quietened down a little bit, hopefully.